Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. FFO topic in biology for 8th standard is adolescence, puberty and hormones. In previous chapter, we have discussed about how animals reproduce, reproductive organs in male and female organisms and development of embryo into baby. But in this chapter, we are going to discuss about the growth process in the baby and changes that occurs in male and female individuals physically and intellectually. So to start about, we are going to learn about 3 stages till adolescence. The first stage is infancy. This stage starts from the birth of the child to 2 years of age. In this age, the baby learns to sit, stand, have solid food and tries to recognize other people around him or her. The next stage is the childhood. It starts from the age of 2 years till 12 years of age. In this stage, the child grows emotionally, socially and physically. The next stage is called as the adolescent stage. This stage is the transition period between childhood and the adulthood. WHO, that is World Health Organization, defines adolescence period as the age between 11 to 19 years of age, and this is also called as teenage, and the children in this age are called as adolescents or teenagers. This adolescence age varies from person to person, and adolescence age will be easily and quickly occurring in females than in the males. Then what is the reason for the adolescence and why do these changes occur only during the adolescence? It is only because of the hormones secreted by the endocrine glands. Endocrine glands will secrete hormones, and these hormones are the chemical substances which are released into the bloodstream. The blood will carry the hormones to the target sites where it initiates the development, reproductive growth of the individual. So next, in adolescence is the age where a male or a female individual attains puberty. At this stage, an individual starts releasing sex hormones and gametes starts producing in the body, and an individual attains sexual maturity. There are many changes which occur in the body of male and female during puberty. The first change is increase in height of the body. Girls and boys increase in their height. Their arms and legs grow tall, and this height depends upon the genes which they inherit from their parents or grandparents. The next is the change in the body shape of an individual. In girls, deposition of fat takes place in the hip region, pelvic region gets widen up, and in boys, muscles develop and shoulders will become broad. The next change occurring in the adolescent is the voice change. The voice box is also called as larynx, and this larynx gets enlarged in boys than in the girls, and this enlarged voice box or larynx is called as Adam's apple, which is prominently seen in males. The voice in boys will be deep and harsh, whereas in girls it becomes high pitched when they attain the age of puberty. The next change what will be occurring in puberty is development of sweat and sebaceous glands. The secretions of sweat and sebaceous glands increases, which increases the odor of the body. That is why adolescents should be keen enough to practice cleanliness regularly. The next change is the development of sex organs. The sex organs in males is testis, and in females it is the ovary. Next, these sex organs will release sex hormones, and ovaries will release estrogen and testis will release testosterone. These are the physical changes occurring in both male and female during the puberty. But adolescence also undergoes mental, intellectual and emotional maturity at puberty. They get depressed and their levels of confidence will become less, and they feel insecure during the puberty, and they wanted to lead an individual life Sometimes they have many mood swings, like suddenly they become anger, they become happy, they become excited. All these changes will be seen during the time of puberty. The changes what we have discussed earlier at puberty were physical and intellectual changes. These changes are common to both boys and girls. But how to distinguish a boy and girl? The characters which specifically distinguishes a boy and a girl are called as, these characters are called as secondary sexual characters. Secondary sexual characters are little bit different in both boys and girls. In boys, we could see the development of facial hairs like beard and mustaches, development of muscles, increase in weight, and their voice becomes harsh and low pitched. Whereas in girls, we could see the development or enlargement of mammary glands, initiation of menstrual cycle, deposition of fat in the hip region, pelvic region broadens, and their voice becomes high pitched, voice will be high pitched. So what is the reason for these secondary sexual characters in both boys and girls? The reason is nothing but the hormones. These hormones are secreted by the endocrine glands present in our body. Endocrine glands do not have ducts. The secretions called as hormones, which are chemical substances, are passed into the blood directly, and along with the blood flow they are carried to the target sites, and the process of behavioral change, reproduction or development takes place only because of these hormones. So now let us discuss about few endocrine glands present in our body. The endocrine glands constitute the endocrine system in the human body. Now we are going to discuss about a few endocrine glands present in our body at various places. First endocrine gland is the pituitary gland, which is also called as master gland because it controls the functions and secretions of all the other endocrine glands. So this pituitary gland is located in the brain region. Below brain, pituitary gland is located. It secretes a hormone called as growth hormone, and the function of pituitary growth hormone is controls development of bones and muscles. If this hormone, growth hormone, is secreted in a large amount, it leads to gigantism, and if this hormone is secreted in less amount, it leads to dwarfism. The second endocrine gland is the thyroid gland, which is located in the throat region. This endocrine gland called as thyroid gland releases or secretes a hormone called as thyroxine, which contains iodine. The function of this thyroxine hormone is that it controls the rate of metabolism, growth and respiration. In children, if this hormone is secreted in less amount, it leads to a condition called as cretinism, where there will be improper growth in children. Whereas in elders or adults, the less secretion of thyroxine hormone results in a condition called as goiter, where you will find swelling of the throat region. The third endocrine gland is pancreas. It is situated below the stomach. Pancreas is situated below the stomach, and it secretes a hormone called as insulin. It regulates the sugar metabolism. The less secretion of insulin in human body leads to a condition called as diabetes. The next hormone is the adrenal gland, which is located the top of the kidneys. At the top of the kidneys, adrenal gland is located, and it secretes a hormone called as adrenaline. It regulates heartbeat, blood pressure, carbohydrate metabolism. And this hormone is released during the stage when human being is stressed out. Adrenaline hormone is secreted. The next two endocrine glands are located in the abdominal cavity. These are ovaries and testes. Ovary is the ovary is present in the females, and testes is present in the males. Ovaries releases a hormone called as estrogen, which regulates egg formation and menstruation, whereas testis releases a hormone called as testosterone, which promotes the sperm production and formation and development of sperm and secondary sexual characters. These testosterone and estrogen regulates the secondary sexual characters. Hormones are responsible for this. In this way, hormones are responsible for the physical changes and emotional changes and intellectual changes in the life of human beings. Next topic we are going to learn is reproductive phase in humans. The reproductive phase in females start at the age of puberty and ends it will continues till the age of 40 to 50 years, and this is called as reproductive phase in females. During this period of reproductive phase, ovaries will release a ovum into the fallopian tubes, which is carried to the uterus. The process of releasing of ovum by the ovaries into the fallopian tube is called as ovulation. This ovulation takes place once in a month. When ovary ovulates ovum, it reaches the uterus. By the time it reaches the uterus walls get thickened to get the fertilized ovum. When the ovum gets fertilized, that condition is called as pregnancy. Suppose if the ovum is not fertilized, then there leads to a condition called as menstruation or menstrual cycle. This unfertilized ovum along with the thickened walls of uterus and the blood will be discharged out of the vagina as blood and other substances. This is called as menstrual cycle, and the process is called as menstruation. This menstruation lasts for 3 to 5 days, and it occurs every 28 to 30 days in females who are all in reproductive phase. The first menstrual flow at the starting of the puberty is referred to as menarche. This menstrual cycle will not last for a lifetime in female. It ends at the age of 40 or 45 or 50 years, which is not constant in all the females. At one stage, the menstrual flow stops and women will lose the ability to bear children. This stage is referred to as menopause. The next topic for discussion is sex determination. So, sex is determined by the gametes which are fused to form the zygote. We have male gamete produced by the father and female gamete produced by the mother. The male gamete is called as sperm and the female gamete is called as egg. The sperm will have two types of chromosomes, either X or Y, whereas egg will have only one type of chromosome called as X. These chromosomes will have the genes which transmit the characters from parents to offspring. When the sperm containing X chromosome fuses with the X chromosome of the egg, it results in the formation of XX, which develops into a female child or a girl child. When the Y chromosome from the sperm fuses with that of X of the egg, you get X and Y chromosomes, which leads to the development of a male child. Traditionally, it is believed that male or female child, if it is born, they think that mother is responsible for the determination of sex. But as we have learnt in the previous top concept that the sperm will decide, the sperm which contains the chromosomes X and Y decides the sex of the child. So, no more mother is responsible for determining the sex of the child, but it is none other than the father or the gamete which is going to fuse the X of the mother. Now, the next topic is the reproductive health. Health is nothing but mental, social and physical well-being of a human being or a person. A person is said to be healthy when he is free from disease or when he does not have any abnormality in its body, whether it is handicapped or he is psychologically fit. When he is free mentally, physically and psychologically, then the person is termed to be as a healthy person. So, as an adolescent, the young children or the young people requires nutritional needs, physical hygiene, proper exercise. The nutritional needs is very important for the adolescent to grow physically and also intellectually. This nutritional needs should include balanced diet with proper proportion of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. The food that adolescent is consuming should also have enough of roughage and water. He should include plenty of vegetables, green vegetables, then he should avoid eating junk foods, etc. Then physical hygiene. Cleanliness is very, very important, otherwise they are prone to the infections either before and after menstruation. So they have to take bath twice daily and they have to clean their hands, nails regularly, and personal hygiene is very, very important because the secretions of sweat and sebaceous glands increases and results in odor of the body during the adolescent stage. The next important thing which is included under reproductive health at the period of puberty is proper exercise. Proper exercise for the adolescents will keep them fit and healthy. Either they can go for a jog or a walk or skipping or cycling or swimming, which makes them fit and healthy throughout their lifetime. Then adolescent is the stage of confusion, as we have discussed earlier. They lack maturity, they doesn't know which is wrong and what is right. So they get influenced with the bad friendship, or if they come across to any friends or localities where they come across people using drugs or alcohol, they should try to avoid this alcohol and drugs, because once adolescent becomes a drug victim, they cannot come out of that slippery grounds, because once if they start consuming this alcohol or drugs, it makes them to take very often, and they may ruin their life completely. The next topic for discussion is AIDS. The full form of AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, which is caused by a virus called as HIV. The full form of HIV is human immunovirus. If this human immunovirus attacks the human body, it destroys the immune system, and the person affected with this virus becomes vulnerable to all the diseases, and he loses resistance power. What are the causes for this AIDS disease? The first thing, they should not share the needles with the people who are already affected with the AIDS disease. And the mother who has HIV may spread this disease to their children either during pregnancy or during the feeding. When they are when mother affected with HIV breastfeeds the child may likely to develop HIV. So the one way to avoid, there are many ways to avoid this disease. How to prevent AIDS? Use disposable syringes, get blood from the blood banks which are registered and which are trustworthy to get the blood, and do not have the blood from unknown person, and then have protected sex, and breastfed mother who is affected with HIV should not breastfeed their young ones. And why this adolescence chapter is included at 8th standard level is to bring down, to make you understand the changes that occur in your body are quite natural, and it's all because of the hormones. So children of 8th standard need not get stressed, or they do not get scared about the changes which are occurring in the human body, because it is nature, and it is all because of the hormones, and all the changes which are occurring either physically or mentally or intellectually are only because of the hormones, and these are the healthy signs.